Hello folks, I'm Sam Capoun, and today on That's My Farm, we head to a small town of St. Mary's, Kansas, where we find Rezac Livestock Commission, but to most, it's known as the Livestock Sale Barn in St. Mary's, a family tradition that began back in 1947 and is very much still in business today. In fact, we hear about many different technologies and changes that have happened over the course of 68 years. Let's take a look.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome to That's My Farm. I'm your guest host, Sam Capoun, and today we're in St. Mary's, Kansas with Rezac Livestock Commission, and this is Denny Rezac. So Denny, tell me a little bit about the sale barn here in St. Mary's.
Well, my father and mother built this building we're standing in 1947. In January, they broke ground and burned cobs to start this cinder block building, and then May 7th of 47 was the first sale they ever had, and we've been here ever since. We went from selling up to about 85,000 cattle a year now, and probably 2 or 3, maybe 5 or 6,000 back there then.
So you're the auctioneer, correct?
Yes. I went to Missouri auction school the fall I got out of high school in 1967, and been here ever since.
So what are some differences you've seen growing up?
Well, just the speed of commerce with the ring scale and the computerized. Why now everything goes in automatically, and once the sale's over, why in about 15 minutes, why we can balance and know what's going on. Where we used to hand write all the tickets, and we'll sell 2,000 or 3,000 cattle today in probably 6-7 hours, where take 12 or 14 hours when we used to weigh them outside. And that's the biggest change, is just the speed of commerce.
Well, the technology today, you can kind of see it here in the sale barn. You have the old phones. Are they still in use today, or do most people tend to use their cell phones to call out?
Most people will talk on their cell phones going out, but if they get calls in, well, then they'll talk on them.
So are these for buyers to call?
Buyers, yes. They're scattered around the arena. Then internet bidding and buying is a big change. We've been online for probably 10 years. And
so how are you online? What sort of organization is that with?
Through DV Auction. This time of the year is mostly feeder cattle and mostly order buyers and farmer feeders. And farmers are mostly in the hayfield or doing something else. There's not a lot of farmers sitting around buying right at this time.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with That's My Farm.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Person who's involved in egg production and cattle ranching, Bill Rischel here in North Platte, told me about Kansas regenerative medicine. And after talking to Dr. Pope, we did a lot of reading and researching, looking on the internet about it. I guess the thing that impressed me is that he told me, he said, if we don't think it's going to help you, we're not going to do it. I thought that was a very good approach. I'm a former athlete, played college basketball, played overseas after college, had some severe trauma on the right ankle, right knee, joint in my hand also. This brace is what I had to wear all the time. Now I don't wear this during the day. That's a real improvement for me. My knee doesn't bother me. This joint came around quick. It was the first thing I noticed improving. You can see in the background here there's different fish and game that I hunt. Ability to walk was impacting my outdoor endeavors. I think it's really valuable, and encourage anybody that's interested to go down and at least do a consultation with them.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're here in St. Mary's, Kansas at the Sale Barn, and we're here with Marty Schindler.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how long you've been working here.
Started part-time when I was 16 and then full-time when I was 18.
So a big stress in the industry today is low-stress cattle maintenance. So what are kind of protocols that you guys do here to stress that importance?
We handle the cattle a lot differently now than what we used to.
Okay.
Do all the sorting with sticks, and now we use flags. Used to be a lot more cows, cow-calf operator. Most of that's gone to stocker cattle, and a lot of that is double stock. So now you have cattle coming from mid-July. Since all that's changed, we've installed the sprinklers around here.
Part of the veterinarian's role is to have an ID system on the adult cattle that come through here, those that are going back to the country as well as those that are going to slaughter. And we put a back tag on their right side as they come through the chute, and if they also get a federal ID tag if they do not have a metal tag already. The first two numbers on the tag signify the state of where that animal was tagged at. While we're working on, we use this worksheet here that has the back tag down here. We put the breed here, the number tag, owner's name, what town he is from, and then we transfer that to a sheet that we mail into the state with all the same information. We also preg check feeder heifers in the afternoon, and we also work a few cattle that on request for producers that want to have things vaccinated. You monitor anything that's infectious and try to keep that from going back home to somebody. An obvious cancer case cannot sell. Hardware, lump jaws that are really bad. Those are a few of the things that they don't allow.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're here with Kenneth Rezac, which is Denny Rezac's brother, and now we're in the office portion of the sale barn. So tell me a little bit about what goes on in the office part.
Well, we have one clerk. She's also the office manager. She settles with all the sellers, the invoicing and checks on that side. 2 buyer clerks to settle with the guys that buy after the sale. Our office manager, she does the mailings. People don't pick up their checks on Wednesday morning and reconciles the checking accounts, that type of thing, the rest of the week.
They basically keep you and Denny in line, right?
Well, yeah, they get on our case once in a while.
So what are some other job duties that you hold around here?
Well, I deal with kind of nasty letter deals from workman's comp or IRS or any of that kind of stuff. That's kind of part of my duties, and I kind of designed our computer program we run many years ago, and so I kind of maintain that if we have a glitch or something.
We were talking with Denny about the different technologies and the different improvements you guys have seen over the year at the sale barn. So tell us a little bit about this computer program and how it runs.
Well, I designed it back in the early 90s. I mean, I was no programmer whatsoever, but I was fortunate enough to find a man that lived here in town that worked for the state of Kansas as a programmer, and I hired him to come in evenings and Saturdays, and I knew how I wanted it designed, how I wanted it run, and I basically just sat over his shoulder for about a year and told him what I wanted and how I wanted to look, and he did the coding, and by the time it was all done, and that was originally designed in just multi-user DOS, and I could pretty much modify and write that code myself by the time we brought that system online.
So how has this benefited you on sale day, having computers versus not having computers?
Oh, the biggest thing is, you know, it seemed like every week when all the invoices and everything was handwritten, there was always a transmission of figures or someplace somewhere, and it might take a day and a half to bounce a sale, or, you know, even if they just accidentally wrote the head count down wrong off of one scale ticket onto an invoice either side of the sale while we'd be out running through the yards recounting, looking for here and there, and all that type of stuff, you know, it saves. Plus be able to print your after sale reports out and have them ready to go to do your ads and all sorted the way you want them. We sort the whole sale by the sex of the animal and the weights of the animal and selling price, so they're all listed right away, and you can grab out the high points you want for your ads, that type of thing. You know, it's just did multiple things in many ways.
I'm Chris Rezac, and I work out here penning the trailers. I have to know the number where I pen them at so that every time they come in, I know where to send them. And when I'm finished, I will give the farmer a copy of this ticket, which is the pink copy. If he has any cows, the orange copy will follow the cows, and then the yellow copy will follow the calves. And the white copy goes into the office. So all the numbers will be the same. And these are all my pens right here. And then these here are sold cattle pens, and these pens back here, I use them for big bunches, or sometimes I have to use these back here. Each one of these pens holds 10 to 14 cattle, depending on how hot it is. Well, the semis come in and back up over here, and Kenny takes these cattle down and pens them over mostly back here, and he writes their name on a card with the number of cattle he counts off. And then, when he gets a little time, he'll make out the ticket and put that number on the card.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're back with Denny Rezac at the St. Mary's Sale Barn. Another facet of yours is purchasing cattle. So tell me a little bit about that.
We started a lot of years ago purchasing cattle for our local people here to background and go to grass, and we buy a lot of cattle for ourselves for different programs too, but we buy them for our customers, and then they make them bigger and then bring them back and sell them here through the sale 100 or 120, 30, 40, 50 days later.
So about what weight do you buy them? What's the best weight are you looking for?
Well, it depends which customer it is. We'll buy them anywhere from 400 pounds to 700 or 800 pounds, but 4 to 6, most of the cattle that we bring back in this country for backgrounders.
So kind of the same way with steers and heifers, just kind of for the personal preference of the buyer?
Right. Yeah, what their plans are with them, what they want to do with them when they get them, and then we buy feeder cattle for feedlots and other people also. So then we buy them all the way up to 1,000 pounds.
So are you sending cattle just in Kansas or everywhere?
Oh, we'll send some to Nebraska and Iowa at different times, and biggest part of them will come right back here for our customers right here.
So what does that do to your business, bringing them back here?
Well, it gives me a steady flow of feeders. We sell 6, 8, 10, 15 loads of feeders every week, and a lot of that is because of the cattle that I buy for my local customers to background and bring back here. So it gives us a steady supply of feeders, and my buyers know they can come here every week and purchase volume loads of feeders.
Now let's hear from one of the backgrounders that Denny has.
Joe Capoun, Alma, Kansas, owner of the CX Ranch. Been backgrounding cattle for Denny Rezac for about 18 years. Usually sends me mostly Angus, Charolais Cross, heifers. Cattle coming in will generally weigh 575 to 600 pounds. Usually go out weighing around 8, 8.25, depending on the quality of the cattle. Usually start sending me cattle around the 1st of January. We'll keep them in a backgrounding lot, feed about 3 pounds of a corn gluten distillers, kind of a grower ration, and brome hay. Have them cattle in the lot till around the 20th of April. They'll start going out on some brome traps. Then we'll kick them from the brome out into the native grass where they'll stay the remaining part of the summer. And they go gather them off the grass in around 100 days and send them back to the feedlot.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source, together we grow.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're here with Nancy Rezac, which is Denny Rezac's wife. Now, Nancy, I remember when I was in kindergarten and you came for the nutrition program, and they always say that kids hate celery. And I remember a thing that you did that I still remember today was make the celery logs with the celery and the peanut butter and raisins.
Ants on the log.
Yes, that's right. So I understand now that you're kind of the head manager here at the restaurant at the St. Mary's Sale Barn. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, actually, my sister-in-law and I kind of share the duties, but I'm the one with the institutional foods training, so the responsibilities and making sure the food sanitation issues and things are up to date. That's kind of my thing. So.
And you were just saying earlier that your mother-in-law used to make 13 pies.
That's
every
what she
sale
told
day.
me once, that everybody that came ate pie, and now people know that that's probably not too good for you, so we only sell about 6 pies a week, but she used to make 13 pies every week.
So what are some other differences that there are from then to now? When did the restaurant start here at the Sale Barn?
The restaurant started when the Sale Barn was established. And we're now sitting in what we call the new part, but it was put on in the 70s. But the original part that was built in the 40s had a little bitty room. It's where the women's restroom is now. And it just had a real small bar with a few bar stools, but they fed a lot of people. So it's always been a thing. And Denny's mom did that all these years. And when she got to be about my age, she had a little health issue and decided that it was time for her daughters-in-law to take over. And at that time, there were 3 of us daughters-in-law. And so we decided we'd do things differently, so we probably wouldn't work together, but we would take our month to do it all. And so now there's just the 2 of us. One sister-in-law has passed on. But so 2 of us take turns with the buying and the shopping. I get up early and come in about 7 and get things opened up and set up and the first pots of coffee on and the counter scrubbed before the rest of the help gets here. And then.
Yeah, because the cafe is kind of the centerpiece of all sale barns if they have the cafe. You probably get a lot of people generating through here throughout the day.
We do, and it starts out early in the morning with some retired guys around the community that all have farm connections in their backgrounds. And then we have kind of a slack time. Then the help comes in to eat before they get started. And then we have a lot of buyers and sellers who come through the day. But early before lunch, then a lot of elderly ladies from around town come down because they want to get their choice of pie before the noon hour. And they know that they have to get here ahead of time to get their favorite kind of pie. So then we have that crowd, and it's funny to see through the day. Over the noon hour, we have quite a few people that work around town come down to eat our hamburgers and fries and just plain food. A lot of places anymore have different nationalities of food featured, but we just have good old burgers and fries like the old days and homemade pie. So, well, not homemade, it has to be made here, but made from scratch pies.
Well, you're certainly making me hungry. What time do you guys usually open up on sale days?
8 o'clock. We serve until the sale is over and basically till we run out of people. But they start cleaning up as soon as the sale's over. They turn off the grill and start clean up, and that takes at least an hour.
So make sure you come in and check out the food at the St. Mary's Sale Barn and get the homemade pie and the extra good burgers. And make sure you tune in next Friday to watch That's My Farm. Thanks for joining us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.